The annual Catholic Appeal, In Giving We Receive, taken from the prayer of St. Francis. As Catholics, we seek to bring hope to those who despair in life. Through your collective giving, we bring light to the darkness as we spread our faith to those who doubt. Your gift will make a difference, for in giving we receive God's blessings. So please give generously in your parish or at diospringfield.org.
Coming up on this edition of Reel to Reel, Catholic Charities continuing to help evacuees from Hurricane Maria. I'll have the story.
I'm Rebecca Drake. I'll bring you a preview of a local theater production where all are truly welcome, in the audience and on stage.
And we'll preview an upcoming major film on Pope Francis. These stories and more coming up next on Reel to Reel. Hello and welcome to Reel to Reel. It's been more than 7 months since Hurricane Maria ripped through Puerto Rico, devastating the island and plunging all of its 3.4 million residents into darkness. Slowly, the island is rebuilding and aiding in the effort locally to help evacuees who have come to the Diocese of Springfield is our own Catholic Charities office. Catholic Charities has already been working with clients and helping them to secure temporary and permanent housing, and now they are partnering with the Office of Refugees and Immigrants of Massachusetts in running a 5-week pilot program on financial literacy for newcomers. Funded in part by the annual Catholic Appeal, the program is working to help evacuees, refugees, immigrants, and migrants become more financially secure.
How to open a bank account, how to balance a checkbook, manage your money, save for a down payment on a house. All valuable financial tools being learned in this bilingual program.
90% of those who are in the course are actually displaced families from Puerto Rico, or what are being called evacuees from Puerto Rico.
Evacuees like Jessica Rosa, who fled the island 5 months ago. Rosa says so far she has gained practical everyday tips that really make sense.
How to start organize your money, how to do the payments, the way you can see how you waste your money in things that are not that important. You know, sometimes I'm hungry, you can wait to get you home. Let me buy $5 Dunkin' Donuts coffee. When you're gonna realize, if I have coffee in my house, I got the donuts in my house, why do I have to spend $5 in a Dunkin' Donuts?
Now, along with the financial workshops, Catholic Charities is continuing to help clients in this transition time.
What we do here at Catholic Charities Agency, we try to provide and give hope in the search for housing.
As we look at the last 7 months or so, the catastrophe in Puerto Rico has been really huge. It's just like any time you have people who are displaced, they're happy to be here, but Puerto Rico is their home. But there is a realization that they're not going back for a very long time.
Rosa recalled when Maria made landfall on the island of Puerto Rico September 20th, 2017. She was at her grandparents' house with many family members, including her 13-year-old daughter and 7-year-old son.
The way that sounded, the way it screamed, because at the same time, you feel like there was a lot of scream. The wind, the way the trees, everything that you were having, it all went out in seconds. At the same time, I was with my grandmother, my mother, my kids. We started hugging each other because it's something that I can't talk too much, because right now my grandfather and grandmother were there. I missed him so much.
The days and weeks following were spent without electricity, without water, she says. Rosa made the very difficult but necessary decision to come to Massachusetts so that her children could go to school and have a better life. But she says it's been a long road since September. She spent the last 5 months in a West Springfield hotel funded by FEMA, waiting for permanent housing. She says it's hardest on her children who miss their home in Puerto Rico.
Mommy, I'm happy here, but I want my house.
But through it all, the tears, the frustration, Jessica Rosa says she knows God is with her during this struggle and is grateful for the help provided by Catholic Charities.
They have helped me here a lot. They're helping me. I'm moving. I'm a strong mother. I think it is. God is here with me, and I know He said to me, it's not when you want, it's gonna be when I say, and things are getting better right now. They are, I know. I got a good feeling, and it's gonna be here. My life is gonna be here.
To date, the Catholic Charities Office of the Diocese of Springfield says it has rehoused about 80 families of Puerto Rican evacuees, with another 80 or more that are in active housing search. And they are still in need of donations to help those being rehoused. We have more information and a link to donate at iobserve.org.
And on the day after Mother's Day, Jessica will be finally getting her own apartment. What a great Mother's Day gift, thanks to Catholic Charities. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all the Hurricane Maria survivors who continue to try and rebuild their lives. And remember that the Catholic Charities Ministry receives funding from the annual Catholic Appeal, which is still underway here in Western Massachusetts. We have a link on our website, diospringfield.org, where you can make a donation today. Your one gift benefits countless ministries and agencies helping the lives of so many. So if you haven't done so already, please consider making your contribution today, and thank you. The octave of Easter ends with one of the more recent feast days added to the church calendar, Divine Mercy Sunday. In Westfield, parishioners at one church found a way to open their doors to mercy and welcome the faithful to celebrate in a meaningful way. Kathy Harrington reports.
The National Shrine of Divine Mercy is 45 minutes away for parishioners of Our Lady of the Blessed Sacrament in Westfield.
We do visit up in Stockbridge at least 3 or 4 times a year because I just feel such a closeness to the Divine Mercy, to Jesus, and to Mary.
But on Divine Mercy Sunday, when thousands of pilgrims arrive in Stockbridge for the celebration, the crowds, the buses, and the traffic are reason enough to stay home.
Not everyone can make it up to Stockbridge. We've always thought that it would be wonderful to have something on the Sunday after Easter, Divine Mercy Sunday, to really focus on Divine Mercy.
Father Dan Pekalik says the Pastoral Council and Evangelization team came up with the idea to host a day devoted to Divine Mercy. So on April 8th, the 11 a.m. Mass transitioned into Eucharistic adoration. Also confession was available, recitation of the chaplet, a special presentation on St. Faustina Kowalski, and a movie about the miracle that led to her beatification.
We indicated what would be happening at each time so that if people wanted quiet time, they could come during adoration. Part of receiving the divine graces of Jesus, he told St. Faustina that the floodgates of his mercy are open on this day. Confession is always part of how we open ourselves up to Jesus' mercy.
Speak to the world about my great and unfathomable mercy, Jesus told Sister Faustina. Filmmaker Betty Wilda does just that in her documentary, In the Name of Miracles. The film tells the story of Maureen Digan of Lee and her miraculous healing at the tomb of the Polish nun.
I heard Faustina say, if you want something, then just ask. In my nasty, cocky attitude, quietly, I said to Faustina, okay, you dragged me this far from home. If you're going to do something, then do it now. And then continued on with the chaplet. And I noticed something was happening to my leg.
For Wilda, the filmmaking process was an eye-opening experience.
I was not that familiar with the Divine Mercy devotion. I learned everything about it by working on the film, and it was life-transforming. It absolutely opened up my faith, and it was miraculous and wonderful journey to work on the film.
Before showing the film, Wilda shared what she learned about Sister Faustina.
I feel like it's an honor. I feel very lucky. I got to do this project, got to meet these wonderful people, and I think their story has a lot to teach others. It's a story of hope in healing and about the power of God and the love of God, which is just unimaginable.
The short documentary captured the attention and the hearts of viewers.
Listening to the miracle, it just brought it all to fruition. It made it feel so real that this really does happen right in our own neighborhood and maybe someday to us.
I think it would have been very important to have more Catholics be here for today's very special celebration, and also to see this film, because I thought the film was simply outstanding.
The movie wrapped up just before 3 o'clock, and more people arrived for the Hour of Mercy. As the Blessed Sacrament returned to the altar for exposition, it was time for the singing of the Divine Mercy Chaplet. Pope John Paul II declared the Sunday after Easter as Divine Mercy Sunday in 2001 because, as Jesus told St. Faustina, humanity will never find peace until it turns with trust to divine mercy. Rosaries, prayer cards, and images were available for the taking. Father Pacolic says the offerings were intended to spread devotion to divine mercy and the image.
I'm just happy that so many people have come so far and that people are hearing the message of wanting to open themselves up to the graces that can come on this day. You know, Jesus just invites us, just come be with me and ask me, let me know your heart's desire. And he told St. Faustina, you know, all of our prayers will definitely be heard.
Devotion to the Divine Mercy continues throughout the year at Our Lady of the Blessed Sacrament Church with recitation of the chaplet on Saturdays. For Reel to Reel, I'm Kathy Harrington.
In the Name of Miracles is available for purchase online. We have a link on our website at iobserve.org. And still to come on Reel to Reel, we'll preview an upcoming major release film on Pope Francis. And Rebecca Drake will take us on a memorable trip to Oz. These stories and more are still to come on Reel to Reel.
The Chalice of Salvation, your weekly spiritual connection. I'm Passionist Brother Terrence Scanlon, your Chalice host, inviting you to take time out of your busy days and join us Sunday morning. Join Bishop Mitchell Wierzanski as we celebrate the 6th Sunday of Easter and welcome members from the Catholic Women's Club of Springfield. The Chalice of Salvation, your spiritual connection, Sunday morning at 10 on 22 News, WWLP, and coming up next on Fox 23, WXXA.
Come to Providence Place, owned by the Sisters of Providence for retirees looking for an ideal rental setting to continue their active, independent lifestyles. We offer bright 1- and 2-bedroom apartments, a magnificent chapel with daily mass, restaurant-style dining, wellness and entertainment programs, all with a friendly community spirit on beautiful grounds. Call for a tour, 413-534-9700.
I'm Dan Dumas with your Reel to Reel news briefs. In 1934, a Mass celebrated in Washington, D.C. honored police and firefighters. It was the first Blue Mass, honoring those public safety officials in uniform. Last month, on Good Shepherd Sunday, 300 people attended the 4th annual Berkshire Blue Mass at St. Joseph Church in Pittsfield. The event was sponsored by the Knights of Columbus, Council 103. David Martin has more.
Firefighters, police officers, and first responders are considered good shepherds in the community because they daily assist others during emergency situations. Berkshire residents had the opportunity to pray for continued blessings of these men and women dressed in blue.
For the fire service and police service, that when you get in a bind and it really starts to, come down to your life be on the line, I'm sure there's a lot of people that certainly do a lot of praying in these positions.
Public safety personnel participated in various roles during the Blue Mass. Monsignor Michael Shoshanovich, pastor of St. Joseph and chaplain for the Pittsfield Police Department, asked the congregation to give a standing ovation to the police officers, firefighters, and EMTs. The Mass was also con-celebrated by Father Peter Gregory, retiring chaplain for the Pittsfield Police Department, and Father Deeker. Following the liturgy, ceremonies took place in the parish center. The prayers for the faithful, for police officers, firefighters, and first responders were recited. Father Gregory, pastor emeritus at St. Charles Parish in Pittsfield, was presented with a plaque in appreciation for many years of service as chaplain for the Knights of Columbus, Monsignor Eugene F. Marshall, Council 103, and Pittsfield firefighters.
It's very humbling because, you don't look for a pat on the back. You're there to be there to serve, as I said. And certainly, I'm very grateful for their recognition, and it's an honor to be reminded that you're appreciated.
Fallen officers were honored with the dedication and retiring of the missing person table. In Pittsfield, I'm David Martin.
And Father Gregory says that even though he is retired, he's not retiring from priesthood and will carry on his priestly duties. He will continue to work with the Pittsfield Fire Department, Police Department, and Sheriff's Department, which he loves to do. Meanwhile, just in time for Mother's Day, St. John the Evangelist Parish in Agawam held a baby shower to help 2 pro-life pregnancy centers in our area. Carolee McGrath has more.
Donations of diapers, wipes, bottles, blankets, and binkies were stacked high and covered the stage inside St. John the Evangelist Parish Center in Agawam. Parishioners have been shopping for weeks for the baby shower held for Bethlehem House in East Hampton and the new Clearway Clinic opening soon on Columbus Avenue in Springfield. St. John's parishioner Andriana Perkins organized the event.
We made these tissue flowers. To each flower we attached a tag that had a suggested gift item on it. And we had baskets in the sanctuary for all of the parishioners to take. And after Mass, they would take a flower and then come back and bring a gift.
Pam Hibbard, the director of Bethlehem House, says the donations are a godsend. The nonprofit, supported by the annual Catholic Appeal, has been helping women choose life for the last 13 years. They rely on donations and volunteers and help 30 clients a week with everything from diapers to clothes to strollers and more.
We help keep moms in school and college. We've paid for classes where a mom has been pregnant and she wanted to finish school, and so we helped pay for some classes for her.
Hibbard says Bethlehem House has supported 5 families with triplets in the last few years. She says one family she helped were expecting triplet boys. Doctors told the mother to abort them. The boys are now toddlers, and the family has been able to buy a house of their own.
Just a thing of being there with us and saying congratulations, and we're so glad for you, and this is beautiful, you're having triplets, and celebrating life. And by doing that, just showing God's love, it changed them, and they felt like, wow, we can go forward.
There was also a silent auction at the baby shower to benefit the new Clearway Clinic, which is also a Christian organization. Clearway Clinic, which opened its first location in Worcester in 2000, is a nonprofit state-licensed medical clinic specializing in pregnancy diagnosis and medical confirmation. In 2013, they switched from a more traditional pro-life pregnancy center to a medical model, offering medical diagnosis, pregnancy testing, STD testing, and ultrasounds. Kelly Wilcox, the executive director, says she's excited to work with Bethlehem House and other pro-life organizations to help women choose life. She says the ultrasound technology is powerful in helping women see their decision.
Not all of them do choose life, but about 79% of them do continue their pregnancy. And so what I was saying is, since we started, we have had 522 new moms, new dads, and new babies. And we celebrate that. And we also do pray and grieve for those that didn't make that choice. And for them, we do provide post-abortion care.
Both organizations hope to provide a loving, life-affirming alternative to women for years to come. In Agawam, I'm Carolee McGrath.
Finally, our congratulations go out to Joseph Raji, the newly named principal of St. Stanislaus Kostka School in Adams. Raji is a native of Adams and a longtime teacher and administrator. He served as superintendent of North Adams Schools from 1996 to 2003 and as a computer teacher at the former St. Mark's School in Pittsfield. Raji will assume his duties on May 21st. And remember to keep informed on all the latest news in the Catholic Church locally and beyond. Log on to iobserve.org. There you can read articles written by our Catholic communications staff, as well as view archived episodes of Reel to Reel. That's iobserve.org. I'm Dan Dumas, and those were your reel-to-reel news briefs.
No matter what divides us, His words unite us. For the first time in history, the Pope opens his doors to address the questions and issues we face together as a leader whose faith inspires the world.
I have the distinct honor of presenting to you Pope Francis of the Holy See.
Buonasera.
From award-winning director Wim Wenders.
Nos dice que no se puede servir a dos señores. O servimos a Dios o servimos a las riquezas.
We're smiling here in the studio at the looks of this car. We are used to the big American limousines, and this is a Mr. Bean car by comparison, and yet it's going to take him around town.
En las familias discutimos, en las familias a veces vuelan los platos. No voy a hablar de la suegra. En la familia hay dificultades, pero esas dificultades se superan con amor.
In a divided world,
saber escuchar. Las diferencias nos dan miedo, porque nos hacen crecer.
One leader has a mission.
Non è debolezza lo teneresi, è fortezza.
To bring us together.
Abbiamo tanto da fare e dobbiamo farlo insieme.
And we have a link to more information on this film at iobserve.org. Since 2005, the St. Michael's Players of East Longmeadow have been bringing Broadway-style, family-friendly entertainment to local audiences. A ministry of St. Michael's Parish, the group has added a new dimension to its youth production this year. Rebecca Drake has our story.
The feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
While The Wizard of Oz remains one of the most popular plays in community theater, an upcoming local production offers a new perspective on an old favorite. In East Longmeadow, St. Michael's youth players are polishing up a performance that features actors of all abilities, thanks to a suggestion from Agawam resident Dee Ward.
For me, it was the idea. I love theater. And I work with youth. I've been working with kids for years and years and years. And I really liked the idea of being able to say that everybody belongs on stage, or everybody has a place on stage.
Ward mentioned the idea of an inclusive theater production more than a year ago to St. Michael's Players director Rose Stella, who was hesitant at first.
My first reaction was, no, I can't do one more thing. And yet, from the moment she spoke it, it sort of kept revisiting my heart.
Like Ward, Stella had previous experience working with youngsters with special needs, including performances of the Jericho Players, directed by Sister of St. Joseph, Kathy Homrock.
I got to know Sister Kathy, and she's a genius, and working with those people was one of the greatest joys I've ever had.
Now, with performance dates for The Wizard of Oz less than 2 weeks away, the young actors are doing more than learning lines, songs, and dance steps.
When working with other people of different ages and of people that work slower, faster, it's just so fun because we get to teach them and they get to teach us a little bit about themselves, but then we mostly get to just help them out and just have a blast.
Ashley is paired with Erin Curran, who says she loves the Wizard of Oz movie and working with her new friend.
She was a friend and sing and laugh. So my sweetheart and Emily she got rich and record rich say and that all your sound is great.
Seeing their children being included and finding new friends also is appreciated by the parents of special needs youngsters.
I just think since the first day, this cast has been wonderful. All the young actors have been so welcoming and helping and shadowing the children that may need a little extra help. And we're really excited to have it come to fruition in a few weeks. And we're just grateful to have the opportunity to have our children be in such a wonderful production.
And while the young actors are forming friendships and creating community, they are learning that we all belong to one special group, the family of God. As Religious Education Director for St. Michael's Parish, Rose Stella sees theater as part of her ministry.
Actually, I think theater is a great replication of what the kingdom should be, because each person brings their own unique talents to work toward a greater good. And I think the spirit rises in rehearsals when people start to meet, community starts to be built, and the spirit takes over, and we become way more than the strangers we were when we walked in the door. We become friends. We become family, really.
So, in addition to the enthusiastic performances, beloved musical numbers, and colorful scenery, the directors hope that this production of The Wizard of Oz presents a message of love and inclusion.
Just because I'm human, that I could be kind of human if I only had a heart.
I hope the message that it sends is that we all belong. We all have a place. And so I think that's really the message that we're trying to get across, is that every one of us deserves the right to be loved, every one of us deserves the right to participate and to be included.
And after a long career in education and many years of community theater experience, the show's director says that this play has taken her life's work to a new level.
I've directed children with special needs or disabilities or whatever. I've directed children in elementary school and middle school. But to pair them together and to watch them love each other is such a gift. And yeah, I think this is the best thing I've ever done, and it was the last thing I wanted to do originally.
And as the young performers prepare for opening night, many hope that this inclusive theater project will be the first, but not the last, for St. Michael's youth players. For Reel to Reel, I'm Rebecca Drake. And this very special production promises to be a memorable trip to Oz and back home again. You can catch the play May 18th through the 20th. For ticket information and more about St. Michael's Players, you can follow the link on our news website, iobserve.org. And for this week, that's Reel to Reel. For more updates anytime, you can find information and news on the Catholic Church both here in the Diocese of Springfield and around the world on our news and information site, iobserve.org. And be sure to friend us on Facebook to follow our reporters while they work on stories for Reel to Reel and get the latest news on the Catholic Church. Like us at Catholic Communications. For our viewers on WWLP TV 22, we will be off next week due to NBC programming. And on the following weekend, we will be coming to you on a special day and time, Sunday, May 20th at 6:30 a.m. Viewers in the Berkshires who watch us on WXXA, Fox 23 Albany, we will be on both weeks at our regular time. I will see you then for another edition of Reel to Reel, your window on the world around you.
Reel to Reel is a production of the Catholic Communications Corporation, funded in part by the annual Catholic Appeal, and the support of you, our faithful viewers.